Hello, CountSacke here, back with another Minecraft Redstone video. Today I'm on my Redstone world, and I have for you the smallest 2x1 sticky pistonless door. And as you can tell, it's quite small, I guess. I guess it's small. It's okay. Okay. So yeah, it is actually 6 long by 8 tall, which its volume is 48 blocks. Pretty small actually, but I don't know. It's up to you what you think. So let's actually get into the opening and closing of this thing. So you flip the lever, as you can see, you gotta wait a bit because you got that little thing there, and then it has a little spam here, but there's nothing I can really do about it. It's kind of how the way that observers work, and yeah, the testing of updates. So there's nothing I can really do about that spamming. It just happens. So yeah, this is very small already as it is, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure it can be a little bit, just a tiny bit smaller, and I would like someone else to take the challenge of that, making it one tiny bit smaller, just a tiny bit. It looks like it could be a little bit smaller, but that's not for me to do. That's for someone else, not me. So yeah. Let's actually get into what you need for this tutorial. So yeah, all the stuff you need is in this tutorial. Yeah, all the stuff I need is in the tutorial. All the stuff we need is in this shulker box. You see what I did here? Yellow, and then it's also yellow. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I checked how many, if it's right, but all I can say is I think that's all you need. Okay guys, let's start with the tutorial. So we have our setup here. What we're going to want to do is place a normal piston here. Well, you don't need any sticky pistons, so I just might as well just say piston. Just going to need a piston here and a piston down here. That is all that's needed for the closing. It's pretty simple. But then the opening is what gets complicated. So what you're going to do is place another piston here and a piston facing like this. And now we have to place another piston here and another piston right here. Now after that, you're going to want to do is place yet another piston over here. Wait, closer. There you go. And then finally another piston up top right there. That is your whole setup. And you still need one more piston. Okay. So, to start off, your input is right here. Your lever goes right there. And what you're going to want to do is place an observer facing in this direction. The output goes there. And then over here, you're going to want to do is place a 2-tick repeater. And that's pretty much your whole entire closing. It's very easy to do. So now, what you're going to want to do is place an observer facing upward. Don't mind this, just leave it alone. Then place another observer facing upward with a powered rail. And then another observer facing in this direction, and an observer facing downward. And then with another powered rail on top. Okay, I'll explain the door later, so most of this will make a lot more sense. Now, let's get on to the bottom one. What you're going to want to do is place a block here, it has to be solid, and then your glowstone / hopper or dropper, dispenser, whatever. I like using actually the hopper is a very nice one to use when you need it to be, when you need a power or something, because okay, but yeah, Deco and Sydney, they kind of, not Deco, Sydney explained it in his very small 4x4, so you can look at that video if you want to understand that a little better. But it doesn't have to be glowstone. Glowstone was like an obvious block update for me, so it's what I first used, but I think the hopper is a little bit nicer since it doesn't flash. So yeah, let's get on with the tutorial. So let's place 2 observers right here with a block right there. Now what you're going to want to do is place a piston right there. That's our last piston, and place 2 observers facing upward and a block. And now for one, probably the most annoying part of this door that took me such a long time to figure out. What you're gonna want to do is place quite a lot of observers facing upward. That's 6. And then place a block on top of it, the 6th one. And then place an observer facing downward. And finally, a 3-tick repeater. That is the whole entire build. As you can see, it works just as fine. And the closing and the opening works just as fine as well. So yeah, let's get into the explanation. Alright, so let's get into this explanation. So basically for your closing, all you need to do is push this piston and have this one extend. So a lot of it is already here. You just need a little thing to power this piston, and then at 2 repeater ticks later have this thing go up. And yes, nothing is gonna happen minus this thing spitting out. Since this thing is powered, these two are powered constantly, meaning that none of the other pistons can actually cannot move these blocks. Nothing's gonna actually do anything, as you can see. Although I kind of just broke the door just to show you, to test this thing. Okay, but yeah. Yeah, I broke the door. Let me fix it really quickly. Okay, there you go. Door is almost fixed. So yeah, all you these, since they're extended, they're unpushable blocks, so none of these pistons can actually open the door, so it's perfectly fine. But when you unflick it, obviously these things retract, but also another obvious thing is that this thing is still here since these are not sticky pistons. So what happens is that the first thing that happens is that this thing spits out, and then a little bit after this extends, but also while this is happening, this observer powers this block, which actually powers this hopper, which actually does cause a block update, and the observer picks it up and gets an output. And then it actually, yeah. Although since this is a hopper, since it's a... Okay, it's not as spammy as the other one, which is actually a lot better. That means hopper is a lot better, but I can explain that one too, but I don't think I need to. This one just causes a lot more block updates to this thing. So, anyway, we have this thing gives a pulse here, extends this thing upward. Then your piston extends. The first one, it picks up a pulse, and both of them pick up a pulse, but then it also retracts. Although since this thing is too busy spamming and whatever, this thing does not do anything until its second pulse, which then puts back the blocks in place. That's pretty much its explanation. I can't really get into very much more detail than that. These powered rails are here because they update the... Well, you don't even need to use power rail. You can actually just use like hoppers. You could use hoppers. It doesn't really matter. I use powered rail because I don't know. I just thought of it. But yeah, you could use hoppers. You could just use 3 hoppers and not have to worry about the powered rail. So there are actually a lot of different opportunities while doing this. I just didn't think about them because I never knew about them. Yeah. So that's pretty much about it for this door. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed.